Hello, this is Pixel Freak, and I'm taking a look at Knights of Pen and Paper. So this is one of the backlog games I've been playing for a while now. It's been out for about 4 months on Android, not sure on iOS. I do know it's out for iOS, but I don't know how long it's been out for that platform. This is a turn-based RPG game, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into the gameplay, and I'll explain how the whole thing works. So the interesting thing about this game is that it's actually a tabletop RPG, but it's played within a video game. So it's kind of like a simulation of a tabletop RPG, but all the events and stuff that are taking place in the tabletop RPG are rendered as graphics within the game. So it's still a video game. So at the beginning of the game, you choose which character you're going to be and which class that guy is going to be with that character. And then as you go through the game, you can hire on new characters, whether it be like the pizza guy or friends, you know, like, what else do they have? They have an alien, and then you can pick a class for which characters you add to the table. But then you proceed to go on this adventure, which is basically just an RPG story. You going around saving all these people and doing these quests and exploring all these different areas. And it does progress in a somewhat of a linear fashion. And the story overall is probably a little bit lackluster, but it's really interesting that there's just like this turn-based RPG that you're playing, in that you're playing out the fantasy piece of a tabletop RPG, only you're not having to use your imagination because you're in a video game, so you're seeing all the little pieces. So as far as different mechanics they use in the game, there's quite a few of them actually. You get skills for each character that you have, and each time you level up those characters, you're able to put points into those skills, so you can kind of customize. I think each person gets about 4 skills. You can customize which skills are going to be more predominant than others. For equipment, there is a blacksmith in the main town, and you can go to him and you can actually improve his skills by giving him these grindstones that you find throughout the game, but he upgrades your equipment. You don't actually find equipment through the game, at least from what I've seen. Your armor and your weapon is all upgraded through the blacksmith, and he's upgraded through items that you find through the game, and so on and so forth. You are able to equip about 4 accessories on each of your characters, and your accessories can do different things like increase your health pool or your mana pool, or how much you regen in those, or how much experience bonus you get with each character. And those accessories you do actually find out in the field by beating various quest bosses or various regular enemies. You'll be able to increase the amount or the strength of your accessories and be able to customize your guys a little bit better that way as well. Knights and Pen and Paper also does have a currency that kind of runs the game, and you do get the currency if for everything you kill and all the quests that you do, you get gold. And then gold's the currency that I was mentioning. Gold is used for every time you want to travel somewhere, or it's used if you want to upgrade your equipment, or it's used if you want to buy things like potions throughout the store. But you can also buy these kind of unique items that you remove yourself from the fantasy world and you enter the room that you're playing the tabletop game in. And you can buy things like new door frames and rugs and different table items that will also help your team throughout the game, and those also use gold. So obviously they've put a mechanic in the game so that you can buy more gold if you'd like to, and luckily those in-app purchases are actually relatively cheap. For $5 you can get more gold than you would ever want in the game. Even though this is a paid app, so it does make sense for those in-app purchases to be cheap. But it's nice that they kind of gave you the gesture of, you know, if you want to just buy a ton of gold and deck your guys out with upgraded weapons and armor and all the different potions that you want and all the different little items that you have on the table, you can do that. I also thought it was really cool that you're kind of toggling back and forth between the real world, which is, I guess, not the real world because you're still in a video game, of your dungeon master and then all the things that are around you. But then you can go into the fantasy world as well. There's like this layered reality there that it's kind of an interesting mechanic. I also really appreciated that in this game they did all the effects like the graphics and the sound in kind of an 8-bit fashion. Now it's probably a little bit better than 8-bit in many cases, but that's really what they were shooting for, that very nostalgic, maybe mid to late 80s time frame. And I think that was kind of the booming point as well for tabletop RPGs. That was when Dungeons and Dragons and games like that really came to be what they are today, which they're probably more popular today, but their big rise, their big claim to fame happened during that kind of 8-bit era. So it's kind of cool to have them take this game and put it back into what technology was at that point in time. So my overall feel for the game is, if you are a fan of turn-based RPGs, this is it. This is a great game. This is a must-own for anybody that is looking for that type of game. There's a lot of cool little adventures. It's really fun to build your characters up. You gain experience and gold at a pretty good pace, and you're able to customize your guys the way you'd want to. I think it's $2 right now on the Google Play Store. It's a steal at that price, and you'd be insane not to go play it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, this has been Pixel Freak.